You already know who I am. I'm here to record a brand new video. This time will be episode 6 of Let's Discuss. If you're very unfamiliar with Let's Discuss series, it's a series where I'm talking about games from the first generation of gaming consoles all the way up to the 8th generation consoles. And today I'm going to be talking to you about a very special game that truly belongs in my heart. It's one of my all-time favorite games on the 5th generation console that was released for the PlayStation, the Sega Saturn, and the Tiger handheld. And you guys, I grew up with this series. It's in my top 10 favorite game series of all time. And this game is definitely recommended to play this game for those who are very familiar with the series. If you guys have not played this game, then what the fuck are you doing? Go ahead and play this game. It is truly one of the greatest PlayStation games on the 5th gen of all time. And you guys, I'm talking about Castlevania Symphony of the Night. One of the best Castlevania games ever came out since Super Castlevania 4 on SNES and Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest on the SNES. This game really truly belongs in my heart, mainly because I've been a long time Castlevania fan since Symphony of the Night came out, and I gotta say, this is probably my second favorite Castlevania game behind Super Castlevania 4 on the SNES. Now, before I get started with this video, if you guys really enjoy these type of videos, all you have to do is leave a comment section down below and make sure to hit that subscribe button, because every subscriber that I get not only helps me out a lot, but it will really inspire myself to build more videos such as Let's Discuss, unboxings, reviews, topics, discussions, and other miscellaneous material on my YouTube channel. It will really help me out a lot. And also make sure to follow me on Instagram. I will put my account name in the description box for you guys to check out. I could really use more followers, and that is the easiest way you can communicate with me is through Instagram. And without further ado, let's get on to episode 6 of Castlevania Symphony of the Night on the PlayStation, the Sega Saturn, the Tiger handheld, PlayStation Network, and Xbox Live Arcade. Now, the game was released in Japan on March 20th, 1997, October 2nd, 1997 in North America. Holy shit. And in PAL region, November 1st, 1997. Now, Castlevania Symphony of the Night is an action role-playing game developed and published by Konami in 1997, who also brought you Metal Gear fucking Solid. Great series. It is the sequel to Castlevania Rondo of Blood and features Dracula's Gemfire's son Alucard as the protagonist. Its initial commercial success was very limited, particularly in the United States where it was not strongly publicized, but it was critically praised, gained through sales word of mouth, and eventually became a masterpiece. Game rankings and Metacritic list its approval score for the original PlayStation version at or above 93%. It has since been released on several gaming consoles and is now usually considered a sleeper hit and a cult classic of video gaming. Castlevania Symphony of the Night was an important milestone for the Castlevania series. It moved the series away from the standard level-by-level platforming formula of older titles and introduced a new style of open-ended gameplay mixed with role-playing game-like elements that most of its successors emulated. Although a similar earlier form of this type of gameplay existed in Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest, which is one of my all-time favorite Castlevania games. Now, let's talk about the gameplay of Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Like many installments of Castlevania series, Castlevania Symphony of the Night uses a 2D side-scrolling style of gameplay. The objective of the game is to guide the main player character Alucard through the undead-filled castle as he sets out to defeat the vampire Dracula. The game uses a non-linear style of gameplay at the beginning. Alucard can access only certain areas of the castle by obtaining the 3 forms, Wolf, Bat, and Mist, that he can shapeshift into. He gradually explores the castle. A map carried by Alucard is automatically updated to show the players progress through the castle. Protagonists in previous games of the series uses whip as their main weapon. In Castlevania Symphony of the Night, Alucard can find and use weapons ranging from edge weapons, typically swords and knives, to knuckles and expendable items such as neutron bombs or javelins. He can also obtain health restoratives and equipment and items that boost his attributes. These are located on an inventory. Relics can be found throughout the castle, provide Alucard with abilities such as the ability to double jump. A bestiary kept by the castle's librarian, who also functions as a shopkeeper, shows the monsters encountered by the player and the items they drop when they're defeated. Castle Symphony of the Night incorporates elements found in role-playing games. Alucard's hit points also determines the maximum amount of damage he can withstand before dying, while his magic points decide how frequently a magical attack may be cast. Alucard has 4 other attributes: strength, the power of physical attack; defense, his resilience to the damage inflicted by the monsters; intelligence, the recovery speed of magic points; and luck, the frequency that items are dropped by the enemies. Defeating monsters provides him with experience points, and he will level up after reaching a predetermined amount, increasing his attributes in the process. Alucard may cast 8 different spells, which requires the player to input directional combinations and will use up varying amounts of his magic points. During the course of the game, Alucard can acquire the ability to summon familiars, which function as complementary. Sorry if I mess up, I'm extremely tired right now. Initiatives, adding him in battle and exploration. The North American version of the game includes the fairy, demon, ghost, bat, and sword familiars. The original Japanese version also includes the familiars Nose Devil, functionally identical to the demon but with a Tengu max and pixie. Alternative modes of gameplay can be unlocked after the completion of the game by inputting Richard Belmont's name as the username. The player can choose to play as Richard, who uses a whip as his main weapon and various sub-weapons. 2 alternative modes have Alucard as the player character with certain items and decrease or decrease attributes. Now let's talk about the plot of Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Castlevania Symphony of the Night begins during the ending of the previous game in the series, Castlevania Rondo of Blood. 4 years later, Alucard arrives at the castle. Inside, he meets Dracula's servant, Death, who warns him to stop his quest to destroy the castle and strips him off his weapons. He also meets Maria, a 17-year-old vampire hunter on a quest to find Richard, and the castle's librarian who sells items and equipment to Alucard. Periodically encountering Maria throughout the castle, Alucard meets Richard, who claims to be the new lord of the castle and forces him to battle with the 2 monsters. Alucard defeats the monsters, finds Maria again, and tells her about Richard. Upset, she leaves Alucard to confirm it for herself. Convinced that Richard is under somebody else's control, Maria meets Alucard again. She urges him not to hurt Richard and gives him an item that allows him to see past illusions. In the castle's keep, Alucard confronts Richard and learns that he plans to resurrect Dracula so he may battle the vampire for eternity. Alucard breaks the spell controlling Richard. Dracula's servant, Shaft, appears and reveals that despite the spell being broken, Dracula can be resurrected soon. Shaft summons an inverted version of the castle. Alucard leaves Richard to Maria's care and enters the inverted castle to find and destroy Shaft. Along the way, he defeats Death and eventually finds Shaft. Shaft admits he planned to end the threat of the Belmont clan by controlling one of the as the master of the castle and forcing them to fight each other. Alucard defeats Shaft, who reveals that Dracula's resurrection is complete. Alucard faces his own father, who vows to destroy humankind because Alucard's mother Lisa was executed as a witch. Alucard refuses to join his father in his revenge in the 2 battles. Alucard defeats his father and suggests he lost the battle because he lost his ability to love after Lisa's death. Dracula quotes the biblical verse Matthew 16:26 and learns that Lisa's final words were of eternal love for him and a plea not to hate, or at least harm, humanity. As Dracula vanishes, he asks for Lisa's forgiveness and bids his sons farewell. Escaping the crumbling castle, Alucard rejoins Maria and Richard. Maria expresses relief that he escaped, while Richard blames himself as the reason for Alucard's fight with his father. Alucard tells Richard the only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing, in a tribute quote from Edmund Burke, and resolves to disappear from the world because of his cursed bloodline. Depending on how much of the castle the player has explored, Maria either resigns herself to Alucard's fate and leaves with Richard, or chases Alucard with Richard's blessing in the hope of changing his mind. So there you have it, you guys. Let's discuss episode 6 of Castlevania Symphony of the Night, one of my all-time favorite games on the 5th generation console gaming, which is also available for PlayStation Network and Xbox Live Marketplace. I highly recommend playing this game. If you love platforming scrollings with RPG elements, this game is for you. As always, I'm the Thyultimategamer. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be on the lookout for another Let's Discuss video coming soon right here on my YouTube channel. Get the fuck on, my friends. And please be sure to follow me on Instagram. That is the best way you can communicate with me while I post things about live music, video game related, animals, food, and all other bunch of stuff. So make sure to hit that follow me. I'll put my Instagram link down in the description for you guys to check out. And also, before I end this video, I want to thank everybody for liking the 4 Dynamic Gamers on our Facebook page. As of right now, we have 17 fucking likes on the channel. I want to say thank you all so much for liking that YouTube, the Facebook page, and Twitter, and all that bullshit. Your support really means a lot to us. We cannot wait to start recording in November. It is the main reason why we are creating this channel for you guys to check out. So, I'm Thyultimategamer, 1/4 of the Dynamic Gamers. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a comment section down below and make sure to hit that subscribe button. Really helped me out a lot. And I'll see you guys in the next video.